Welcome to episode number 23 of the Phillies Fan Podcast here on Big Fan Sports. I'm your host, Jaden Harper. And before we get started with the preview for today's game, I do remind you I will be live for Game 1 of the Phillies-Dodgers series on Tuesday. That game starts at 6:40 right here on Big Fan Sports, so make sure to check that out. Should be a good one. Dodgers and the Phillies, two best teams in the National League. That's on Tuesday to start this series. But we have a series to finish today as the Phillies in Atlanta to take on the Braves as they look to take the three-game series. They dropped last night's game 5-1. They won game 1 of the series 8-6. Today's game starts at 1:35 on NBC Sports Philadelphia. And if you're not in the regions of Atlanta or Philadelphia, it will be on MLB Network. Today for the Braves, the starter is Ronaldo Lopez. Lopez has the best ERA in baseball when it comes to pitchers who are not qualified. He has a 1.83 ERA, which he's very close to being qualified. I would be highly surprised if he's not going down to Arlington, Texas for the All-Star game in about a week. And he has been a very solid starter for Atlanta this season. A 1.83. This is the first time the Phillies are seeing him all season long. They've faced him 3 times in the past. So his career stats against the Phillies, he has a 4.50 ERA in 8 innings, 6 strikeouts, 5 walks, and a 1.625 WHIP. This season, in 83 innings, he has a 1.83 ERA, 87 strikeouts, and a 1.147 WHIP, which is pretty solid for Atlanta. He's become like one of the second best pitchers on that team. I would say Chris Sale, he's having a very good season. Phillies won't see him at least until August. Max Fried, we saw him on Friday. Phillies were able to get to him, but he's also having a very solid season. They have Ronaldo Lopez. People didn't really not expect that to be the Braves' Big three. Obviously expected to be Spencer Strider as a part of the Braves' big three when it comes to their pitching rotation, but Ronaldo Lopez has stepped up and stepped into the rotation, and he's been really, really solid for Atlanta this season. Someone who's hit Ronaldo Lopez really well in his career is Whit Merrifield, the Phillies utility guy, playing shortstop today. So, no, he's in the outfield today. He's batting 7th. He has had a really tough season. He's batting a 189, a 273, and a 277. 7 extra base hits all season, 10 RBIs, 10 stolen bases at a 550 OPS. So he has mightily struggled in his first year with Philadelphia. The Phillies have a contract buyout at the end of the year, which is for $1 million, or they could opt into next year, which is an $8 million contract. We'll see what happens there. But where Merrifield comes into play and why he gets all these starts against especially these former Central players or Central teams is because he was in the American League for his entire career before this year with Kansas City and then Toronto. So he has experience taking on guys like Ronaldo Lopez. Lopez was a former White Sox. Merrifield obviously with the Royals. They faced each other a lot. So in 42 at-bats, Merrifield has really solid stats against Ronaldo Lopez. He's making 333 and 939 OPS. 2 home runs and 6 RBIs in his 42 career at-bats against Ronaldo Lopez. And that shows like why Whit Merrifield still has a really prominent role on this team is because he can show up against these former Central players and have experience against them where everybody else probably would not have that same experience. On Friday against Atlanta, Merrifield went 1 for 5 at the plate. He stole 2 bases, so he has 10 stolen bases. He's 4th on the team behind Rojas, Turner, and Bryson Stott. And he also scored a run, which gave the Phillies a 7-3 lead at the time. So he's had his last 2 starts have been pretty solid. Has had a hit in both of them. One game he scored a run, the other game he drove in a run. Phillies need him to show up today if they want to take this series from Atlanta. Starting today for the Phillies is Michael Mercado. This will be his second major league start. He made his first start on Tuesday against the Cubs. A very solid start. 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. He has been a light of hope for the Phillies ever since coming up from AAA. This will be his 3rd appearance. Made one in relief. He started one. This will be the first time any Braves hitter has ever faced Michael Mercado, which makes sense because the Phillies have not played the Braves since Michael Mercado got called up. So it'll be interesting to see how Mercado is able to work through Atlanta. The Phillies have, the bullpen is a little worked. Ranger only went 5 yesterday. You have Nola, he only went 6. So you have the bullpen's a little worked. You had Sanchez, he didn't go far either. So the bullpen's a little worked. It's a little tired. So you're a little worried about if Mercado could go deep today. It would be big if he could. The Phillies have a 36% chance to win today's game, according to ESPN, which is their lowest of the series. It could be part due to Michael Mercado on the mound against Ronaldo Lopez. But we'll see. That game starts at 1:35 again. I will be live on Tuesday for Game 1 of the Dodgers-Phillies series, so make sure to check that out. I'll be back here for post-game coverage right after the final strike, so make sure to check that out as well. Thank you for watching the Phillies Fan Podcast here at Big Fan Sports, and I'll see you next time.